Maya stared up at the massive war machine, weighing the lives of her crew against her own safety. The choice was clear. "Prepare the link," she ordered. "I'm piloting the Titan." Despite protests from her team, Maya positioned herself in the pilot's cradle at the base of the Titan's spine. Neural connection cables snaked from the machine's core to the interface helmet patelle secured around her head. "Once I initiate the connection, the Titan's systems will sync with your neural pathways," Paddle explained. "You'll essentially become the Titan. Every movement, every weapon system, all controlled by your thoughts." Maya nodded, steeling herself. "Do it." The connection felt like ice water flooding her veins, followed by fire racing along her nerves. Maya gasped as foreign data cascaded through her consciousness. Weapon systems, tactical analyses, centuries of combat protocols, and memories. The Titan remembered everything. Through the haze of pain, Maya saw flashes of the Height Wars. Thunderbolt standing against waves of Kree-Venar warriors, its railguns and plasma cannons carving through their ranks. She felt the determination of its previous pilots, their desperate struggle to protect humanity against an enemy that showed no mercy. "Captain Reeves, can you hear me?" Maya opened her eyes, only to realize she could see through two sets simultaneously, her own human vision and the Titan's advanced optical systems that painted the world in tactical overlays. "I'm here," she managed, her voice sounding distant to her own ears. "The Titan. It's alive." The massive war machine hummed with awakening power, dust falling from its frame as servos and hydraulics activated for the first time in decades. Through the Titan's sensors, Maya could detect the approaching Kree-Venar vessels more clearly now. 6 scout ships and behind them, a carrier bearing thousands of warriors. "The scouts will reach us in 5 minutes, Ortiz reported. "The Odyssey can't evacuate everyone in time." Maya felt Thunderbolt's weapon systems come online. Railguns, missile pods, plasma cannons, an arsenal designed for one purpose: to end the Kree-Venar threat. "You don't need to evacuate," Maya said, her voice overlaid with the metallic resonance of the Titan's vocalization system. "I'm taking the fight to them." The ceiling of the hub retracted with a mechanical groan, revealing the star-filled void above. Thunderbolt's jump thrusters engaged, lifting the massive war machine from its decades-long slumber. Maya felt a surge of exhilaration as the Titan rose through the opening, breaking free from the station and into open space. The first Kree-Venar scout appeared on the horizon of Talos 9, a sleek, chitinous vessel bristling with bioorganic weapons. It detected Thunderbolt immediately, altering course to intercept. Inside the neural link, Maya accessed the Titan's combat protocols. Information flooded her mind. Optimal engagement distances, weapon effectiveness against Kree-Venar bioarmor, tactical maneuvers designed specifically for space combat. The scout fired first, a stream of superheated plasma arcing toward Thunderbolt. Maya reacted instinctively, the Titan's thrusters burning as it sidestepped the attack with impossible grace for something so massive. "Let's see what you can do," Maya whispered to the machine. Thunderbolt's right arm transformed, plates shifting to reveal a railgun of terrifying proportions. Maya targeted the Kree-Venar scout and fired. The hypervelocity projectile crossed the void in an instant, tearing through the scout's hull and triggering a cascade of explosions that reduced the alien vessel to debris. The remaining scouts altered their formation, coordinating their approach to surround the Titan. But Thunderbolt was designed to handle multiple threats. Missile pods opened along its shoulders, launching a swarm of guided projectiles that tracked the Kree-Venar with relentless precision. 2 more scouts erupted in silent explosions. The others broke formation, attempting to retreat. Maya wasn't going to let them escape to warn the carrier. Thunderbolt's thrusters propelled the war machine forward at speeds that defied its size. Its left arm formed a plasma blade, the edge glowing white-hot against the blackness of space. With surgical precision, Maya guided the Titan through the void, intercepting each scout and cleaving them apart before they could escape. Within minutes, all 6 scouts had been eliminated. But the real threat was still approaching. Through the Titan's long-range sensors, Maya could see the Kriegenar carrier, a massive organic-looking vessel that pulsed with malevolent energy. Inside its cavernous holds would be thousands of warriors, each capable of tearing through standard Earth armor like paper. "Captain, the carrier's changing course," reported Quan over the comm. "They've detected the loss of their scouts. They're accelerating toward Sentinel Station, the forgotten weapon." The distress signal cut through the silence of deep space like a knife, faint but unmistakable. Captain Maya Reeves stood on the bridge of the Odyssey, her eyes fixed on the pulsing red dot on the navigation screen. According to the ship's AI, the signal originated from Sentinel Station, an abandoned Earth outpost on the edge of the Orion Arm that had been silent for nearly a century. "How long has it been broadcasting?" Maya asked, her voice steady despite the tension building in her chest. Lieutenant Quan, her communications officer, shook his head. "Hard to tell, Captain. The signal's degraded. Could be hours, could be days." Maya's fingers tapped against the command console. Earth's jurisdiction in this sector had weakened after the Treaty of Proxima, leaving human colonies vulnerable to raids from the Kriegenar swarm. If Sentinel Station had been attacked, the Odyssey might be walking into a trap. "Plot a course," she decided, "but keep us at long-range scanning distance when we arrive." The journey took 16 hours, during which Maya reviewed everything in the ship's database about Sentinel Station. Constructed during the Height Wars as a military outpost, the station had housed experimental weapons designed to counter the Kriegenar threat. After the war, when humanity agreed to limit its military presence in exchange for peace, Sentinel Station had been officially decommissioned. Unofficially, rumors persisted about what had been left behind. The Odyssey dropped out of FTL on the dark side of Talos 9, the barren moon that concealed Sentinel Station from casual observation. Through the viewport, Maya could see the skeletal structure of the station, its exterior lights dark except for a single blinking beacon. "Life signs?" she asked. "None detected," replied Dr. Chen, the ship's science officer. "But there's an unusual energy signature coming from the central hub. It's unlike anything in our database." Maya nodded. "Prepare a shuttle. I'm taking a team over." The boarding party consisted of Maya, Dr. Chen, Security Chief Ortiz, and Engineer Patel. As their shuttle approached the station's main docking bay, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The interior of Sentinel Station was a tomb of military ambition. Corridors once bustling with personnel now lay silent, the air stale despite the still-functioning life support systems. Their helmet lights carved paths through darkness as they followed the energy signature to the central hub. The doors sealed with a command-level override, Patel observed, examining the massive bulkhead blocking their path. "Military grade from the Height Wars era." Maya stepped forward. "Let me try something." She placed her palm against the scanner, and to everyone's surprise, the system responded with a soft chime. The bulkhead slid open with a groan of protesting metal. "How did you begin, Ortiz?" "My grandfather was stationed here," Maya explained, her expression unreadable. "His genetic profile must still be in the system." The central hub stretched before them, a vast chamber dominated by a colossal silhouette. As they approached, auxiliary lights flickered to life, revealing what waited in the center of the room. It stood 40 meters tall, a humanoid war machine of unprecedented scale. Its armor plating, once gleaming, was now dulled by decades of neglect, but the Earth Alliance insignia remained visible on its chest. The designation, THUND was stenciled across its shoulder. "My God," whispered Dr. Chen. "A Titan-class mech. I thought they were all destroyed after the treaty." "Apparently not," Maya replied, her voice quiet with awe. She approached a nearby terminal and brushed away the dust. The console activated at her touch, displaying schematics of the massive war machine. "This is what's been sending the distress signal," she realized. "The Titan's AI core is still active." Before anyone could respond, the station's alert system blared to life. Red emergency lights bathed the hub in crimson. "Captain," Ortiz called out, checking her tactical display. Multiple contacts approaching from the Kuiper Belt. Energy signatures match Kree Venar scout ships. The Kree Venar, insectoid predators who viewed humans as nothing more than prey. If they were here in force, the Odyssey wouldn't stand a chance. "How many?" Maya demanded. "At least 6 scouts, with a carrier approaching. ETA 15 minutes. Maya looked up at the silent Titan, a desperate plan forming in her mind. "Patel, can you get this thing operational?" The engineer examined the control systems. The Titan's systems are intact, but it requires a neural link to operate. Someone would need to physically connect to it. "How dangerous is the connection?" Maya asked. Patel hesitated. "Very. These older neural links weren't designed with safety protocols. The mental strain could cause permanent damage." Maya stared up at the massive war machine, weighing the lives of her crew against her own safety. The choice was clear. "Prepare the link," she ordered. "I'm piloting the Titan." Despite protests from her team, Maya positioned herself in the pilot's cradle at the base of the Titan's spine. Neural connection cables snaked from the machine's core to the interface helmet Patel secured around her head. "Once I initiate the connection, the Titan systems will sync with your neural pathways," Patel explained. "You'll essentially become the Titan. Every movement, every weapon system, all controlled by your thoughts." Maya nodded, steeling herself. "Do it." The connection felt like ice water flooding her veins, followed by fire racing along her nerves. Maya gasped as foreign data cascaded through her consciousness. Weapon systems, tactical analyses, centuries of combat protocols, and memories. The Titan remembered everything. Through the haze of pain, Maya saw flashes of the Height Wars. Thunderbolt standing against waves of Kree Venar warriors, its railguns and plasma cannons carving through their ranks. She felt the determination of its previous pilots, their desperate struggle to protect humanity against an enemy that showed no mercy. Captain Reeves, can you hear me?" Maya opened her eyes, only to realize she could see through 2 sets simultaneously, her own human vision and the Titan's advanced optical systems that painted the world in tactical overlays. "I'm here," she managed, her voice sounding distant to her own ears. "The Titan, it's alive." The massive war machine hummed with awakening power, dust falling from its frame as servos and hydraulics activated for the first time in decades. Through the Titan's sensors, Maya could detect the approaching Kree Venar vessels more clearly now, 6 scout ships and behind them, a carrier bearing thousands of warriors. "The scouts will reach us in 5 minutes, Ortiz reported. "The Odyssey can't evacuate everyone in time." Maya felt Thunderbolt's weapon systems come online. Railguns, missile pods, plasma cannons, an arsenal designed for one purpose: to end the Kree Venar threat. "You don't need to evacuate," Maya said, her voice overlaid with the metallic resonance of the Titan's vocalization system. "I'm taking the fight to them." The ceiling of the hub retracted with a mechanical groan, revealing the star-filled void above. Thunderbolt's jump thrusters engaged, lifting the massive war machine from its decades-long slumber. Maya felt a surge of exhilaration as the Titan rose through the opening, breaking free from the station and into open space. The first Kree Venar scout appeared on the horizon of Talos 9, a sleek, chitinous vessel bristling with bioorganic weapons. It detected Thunderbolt immediately, altering course to intercept. Inside the neural link, Maya accessed the Titan's combat protocols. Information flooded her mind: optimal engagement distances, weapon effectiveness against Kree Venar bioarmor, tactical maneuvers designed specifically for space combat. The scout fired first, a stream of superheated plasma arcing toward Thunderbolt. Maya reacted instinctively, the Titan's thrusters burning as it sidestepped the attack with impossible grace for something so massive. "Let's see what you can do," Maya whispered to the machine. Thunderbolt's right arm transformed, plates shifting to reveal a railgun of terrifying proportions. Maya targeted the Kree-Venar scout and fired. The hypervelocity projectile crossed the void in an instant, tearing through the scout's hull and triggering a cascade of explosions that reduced the alien vessel to debris. The remaining scouts altered their formation, coordinating their approach to surround the Titan. But Thunderbolt was designed to handle multiple threats. Missile pods opened along its shoulders, launching a swarm of guided projectiles that tracked the Kree-Venar with relentless precision. 2 more scouts erupted in silent explosions. The others broke formation, attempting to retreat. Maya wasn't going to let them escape to warn the carrier. Thunderbolt's thrusters propelled the war machine forward at speeds that defied its size. Its left arm formed a plasma blade, the edge glowing white-hot against the blackness of space. With surgical precision, Maya guided the Titan through the void, intercepting each scout and cleaving them apart before they could escape. Within minutes, all 6 scouts had been eliminated. But the real threat was still approaching. Through the Titan's long-range sensors, Maya could see the Kree-Venar carrier, a massive, organic-looking vessel that pulsed with malevolent energy. Inside its cavernous holds would be thousands of warriors, each capable of tearing through standard Earth armor like paper. "Captain, the carrier's changing course," reported Quan over the comm. "They've detected the loss of their scouts. They're accelerating toward Sentinel Station." Maya accessed Thunderbolt's strategic assessment protocols. The carrier outgunned the Titan significantly. A direct confrontation would likely end in defeat. But buried deep in the Titan's memory banks, she found something else. The real reason Thunderbolt had been hidden away instead of destroyed after the treaty. The Titan harbored a weapon so destructive, so contrary to the peace humanity had sought, that its very existence had been classified beyond top secret. The Singularity Cannon, a weapon capable of creating a temporary quantum singularity that could consume anything caught in its gravitational pull. The Planet Killer. Maya hesitated. Using such a weapon violated everything the treaty stood for. But as the carrier approached, disgorging the first wave of Kree-Venar drop pods, she knew there was no other choice. "Everyone back to the Odyssey," she ordered. "Get clear of the battle zone." "What about you?" asked Dr. Chen. "I'm staying with Thunderbolt," Maya replied. "This ends today." As her crew evacuated, Maya guided the Titan into an intercept course with the carrier. The Kree-Venar vessel bristled with defensive weaponry, lashing out with bioplasma cannons and graviton beams that battered against Thunderbolt's shields. Maya pushed deeper into the neural link, allowing the Titan's combat eye to merge more fully with her consciousness. The line between human and machine blurred as Thunderbolt's reflexes became her own. The war machine darted through the void, evading the worst of the carrier's attacks while returning fire with devastating precision. But it wasn't enough. The carrier's regenerative hull absorbed punishment that would have destroyed any human vessel. And now, drop pods were landing on Thunderbolt itself, Kree-Venar warriors attempting to breach the Titan's armor. Maya accessed the Singularity Cannon's activation sequence. Warning messages flashed across her neural interface. The weapon's power requirements would drain the Titan's core. There would be no escape once it fired. As she hesitated, the neural link deepened unexpectedly. Maya gasped as she felt another presence. Not an AI, but something more. The collective experience of all Thunderbolt's previous pilots, their memories and knowledge preserved within its systems. They had faced this choice before. They understood the sacrifice. With newfound resolve, Maya locked the Singularity Cannon on the Kree-Venar carrier and initiated the firing sequence. Thunderbolt's chest plate reconfigured, revealing an array of technology unlike anything humanity had publicly acknowledged creating. Energy gathered at the focal point, a sphere of distorted spacetime that bent light around it. The Kree-Venar carrier attempted to retreat, but too late. The Singularity Cannon fired. A perfect black sphere appeared where the beam struck the carrier, expanding rapidly. The massive alien vessel contorted as it was pulled toward the artificial singularity, its structure breaking apart under gravitational forces no material could withstand. Maya watched through Thunderbolt sensors as the Kree-Venar threat collapsed into the singularity. Then, just as the weapon's specifications had promised, the black hole itself collapsed, leaving nothing but scattered debris where the carrier had been. The Titan systems began shutting down, power levels critical after the massive energy expenditure. Maya felt her connection to the machine weakening. As consciousness faded, she heard a voice through the neural link. Not her own, not the Titan's AI, but something in between. "Rest now," it said. "They will come for us both when they need us again." When Maya awoke in the Odyssey's medical bay hours later, the first thing she saw was the Titan, secured in the ship's massive cargo hold. Thunderbolt stood silent once more, but Maya knew it wasn't truly dormant. It was waiting. And so was she. Because the Kree-Venar carrier had sent a message before its destruction, a call to the rest of the swarm. And when they came seeking vengeance, humanity would need every weapon it could find, even those it had tried to forget. Humanity's thunder. 2 days after the destruction of the Kree-Venar carrier, the Odyssey limped into orbit around New Haven, the largest human settlement in the Orion sector. The colony's towering arcologies glinted in the light of the twin suns, home to over 3 million civilians who knew nothing about the storm coming their way. Captain Maya Reeves stood in the cargo bay, staring up at Thunderbolt. The Titan loomed in the cavernous space, its armor still bearing scorch marks from the battle. Since their neural connection, Maya had been experiencing flashes of memories that weren't her own, battles fought decades ago, faces of pilots long dead, and a growing sense that the machine was more than just a weapon. "The colony governor wants to meet with you," said Commander Ellis, her executive officer. "He's not happy about our cargo." Maya nodded. "Tell him I'll be there in an hour." When Ellis left, Maya approached the Titan's foot, placing her hand against the cool metal. "They're afraid of you," she whispered. "Maybe they should be." Deep within the neural link that still connected them, even at this distance, she felt Thunderbolt's acknowledgement. The meeting with Governor Harlan went exactly as Maya had expected. Accusations of treaty violations, demands that the Titan be surrendered to colonial authorities, and thinly veiled threats when she refused. "This weapon violates every principle of the Proxima Treaty," Harlan stated, his hologram hovering over the conference table. "If the Galactic Council discovers we've reactivated a Titan-class war machine, they could revoke Earth's protectorate status." "With respect, Governor," Maya replied, "the Kree-Venar don't care about treaties. The carrier we destroyed sent a distress signal before it went down. We intercepted communications indicating that the main hive is sending a war fleet to investigate. They'll be here within a week." The governor's face paled. New Haven's defense grid isn't designed to repel a full-scale invasion. "No," Maya agreed, "but Thunderbolt is." After hours of debate, a compromise was reached. The Titan would be moved to a secure facility on New Haven's moon, where Maya would continue as its pilot. The colony would officially deny knowledge of the weapon's existence, while secretly preparing for war. As Maya returned to the Odyssey, she found Dr. Chen waiting outside her quarters, concern evident on the scientist's face. "The neural scans came back," Chen said without preamble. "The link with Thunderbolt is changing your brain chemistry. The integration is progressing faster than expected." Maya had felt it. Dreams filled with battles she'd never fought, technical knowledge she'd never learned appearing in her thoughts like memories. "Is it dangerous?" she asked. Chen hesitated. "I don't know. This technology was experimental even during the Height Wars. The records indicate that prolonged neural connection could lead to personality blending." "Meaning what exactly?" "Meaning you might start thinking like the Titan, or the Titan might start thinking like you. The distinction could become meaningless." Maya considered this. "And if I disconnect completely?" "Based on what happened at Sentinel Station, the Titan won't function without you. Not now that it's imprinted on your neural pattern. The decision was simple then. Maya knew what was coming. The Kree Venar wouldn't send just another carrier. They would send their queen, the hive mind that directed the entire swarm. Without Thunderbolt, New Haven would fall within hours. Monitor the changes, Maya ordered. But the link stays. 5 days later, as Maya stood in Thunderbolt's shadow at the lunar facility, the first alarm sounded. Long-range sensors had detected a massive fleet dropping out of FTL at the edge of the system. Over 50 Kree Venar vessels, including a mothership 3 times the size of any carrier on record. Through her neural link with Thunderbolt, Maya felt a surge of recognition. The Titan had faced this enemy before, in the final years of the Height Wars. The mothership housed the Kree Venar Queen, the central intelligence that guided the entire swarm. As Maya prepared to connect fully with the Titan, she received an unexpected transmission from Earth Command. The hologram of Admiral Zhao materialized before her, his expression grim. "Captain Reeves, we've received your reports about the Titan and the approaching Kree Venar fleet. A battle group is en route to your position, but they won't arrive for at least 3 days. We'll be overrun by then." "Admiral," Maya replied. Zhao nodded. "I know. That's why I'm officially authorizing full deployment of Thunderbolt. Treaty be damned. Earth doesn't abandon its colonies." The transmission ended, leaving Maya with a mix of relief and apprehension. She entered the connection chamber, where neural interface cables descended from the ceiling. "The mothership will reach New Haven in approximately 6 hours, reported Lieutenant Quan over the comms. "The Odyssey is coordinating with colonial defense ships, but—" "I know," Maya said. "We're outmatched." She lay back in the cradle, allowing the interface to connect with the ports at the base of her skull. The rush of connection was both familiar and overwhelming. Thunderbolt systems flooding her consciousness, its memories merging with her own. But this time, something was different. As the neural link deepened, Maya felt herself expanding beyond the confines of her human form. The Titan's massive body became an extension of her will, its sensors her eyes, its weapons her hands. "Captain," Dr. Chen's voice sounded distant. "Your neural patterns are changing." Maya barely heard her. Through Thunderbolt's advanced sensors, she was analyzing the approaching Kree Venar fleet, identifying weaknesses, calculating trajectories. Knowledge she shouldn't possess flowed through her mind. The exact composition of Kree Venar bioarmor, the frequency vulnerabilities of their communication networks, tactical patterns they had used in battles fought decades before her birth. "I'm fine," she responded, her voice overlapping with the Titan's deep resonance. "Prepare for launch." Thunderbolt's thrusters ignited, lifting the massive war machine from the lunar surface. As it rose into space, Maya could see the first wave of Kree Venar scouts entering New Haven's orbit. The colony's modest defense fleet moved to intercept. 10 ships against an armada. Maya pushed Thunderbolt's engines to maximum, accelerating to join the battle. "This is Captain Reeves of the Odyssey." She broadcast on all frequencies. "Fall back to secondary defensive positions. Let them come to us." The human ships acknowledged, pulling back to form a perimeter around the colony. Through the neural link, Maya coordinated their positions, using Thunderbolt's superior tactical systems to optimize their defensive coverage. The first Kree Venar attack came as a swarm of biomissiles, living projectiles that adjusted their course mid-flight to track their targets. Thunderbolt's point defense systems activated automatically, plasma bursts intercepting the missiles before they could reach the human ships. But it was only the beginning. The main Kree Venar fleet approached in attack formation, their ships arranged in a pattern Maya recognized from Thunderbolt's memories. The Death Cradle, designed to surround and overwhelm a defensive position from all sides. They're using old tactics, Maya communicated to the defense fleet. "Position yourselves according to countermeasure Delta 6. The human captains hesitated, unfamiliar with the reference, but Thunderbolt broadcast tactical positioning data directly to their navigation systems. Slowly, the defense fleet rearranged itself into a formation that would maximize crossfire against the approaching enemy. As the battle was joined, Maya felt herself sinking deeper into the neural link. She was thinking at thunderbolt speed now, processing information, and making decisions faster than any human could. Her consciousness expanded across the battlefield, tracking hundreds of variables simultaneously. The Kree Venar attacked with characteristic ferocity, their bioships spewing streams of corrosive plasma. Thunderbolt moved with impossible grace for something so massive, its railguns and missile systems striking with precision, while its shields absorbed punishment that would have vaporized smaller vessels. For 2 hours, they held the line, destroying dozens of enemy ships. But the tide began to turn as the Kree Venar mothership moved into range, its massive form eclipsing New Haven's smaller moon. Through Thunderbolt's sensors, Maya could detect something she had only read about in classified reports: the psychic emanations of the Kree Venar Queen. The alien consciousness pressed against her mind, seeking weakness. "You are nothing," came the thought, alien yet perfectly understandable. "Your species is prey. Your resistance is meaningless." Maya felt Thunderbolt's systems fluctuate as the psychic attack intensified. Warnings flashed across her neural interface. The Titan's AI core was vulnerable to the Queen's influence. But Maya pushed back, drawing on memories that weren't her own. Previous pilots who had faced similar attacks, techniques they had developed to shield their minds. She constructed mental barriers using patterns from Thunderbolt's combat protocols, mathematical sequences too complex for the alien consciousness to easily penetrate. "We are not prey," Maya responded, her thoughts amplified by the Titan's communication systems. "We are humanity." The mothership responded with a direct attack, a beam of concentrated energy that struck Thunderbolt with enough force to send the Titan tumbling backward. Damage reports cascaded through Maya's awareness. Armor integrity compromised. Right arm actuators failing. Power core at 60%. "Captain." It was Quan on the comms. "The Odyssey's sensors show critical damage to Thunderbolt's primary systems. You need to disengage." Maya ignored the warning. Through the pain of the neural feedback, she accessed Thunderbolt's deepest protocols, the same ones that had activated the Singularity Cannon. But this time, she found something else: the Genesis Protocol. According to the data flowing through her mind, the Genesis Protocol was the reason Titans had been banned after the Height Wars. It was not just a weapon but a metamorphosis, the complete conversion of a Titan's power core into pure energy, creating an explosion capable of destroying everything within a 1,000-kilometer radius. It was suicide, but it would take the mothership with it. As Maya considered this option, another transmission cut through the chaos. "This is Admiral Zhao of the United Earth Fleet. We've arrived ahead of schedule. All colonial forces, regroup and prepare for coordinated assault." Through Thunderbolt's long-range sensors, Maya saw them, not just a battle group, but an entire fleet dropping out of FTL behind the Kree Venar forces. Dozens of ships, including 3 dreadnoughts bearing the Earth Alliance insignia. Hope surged through her, but Maya knew the Queen wouldn't surrender. The mothership was already turning to face this new threat, preparing to unleash its full destructive potential. "Admiral," Maya transmitted, "the mothership houses the Kree Venar Queen. If we can destroy it, the entire swarm will lose cohesion." "Understood, Captain," replied Zhao. "But our weapons can't penetrate its outer shell. Not quickly enough anyway." Maya made her decision then. Not the Genesis Protocol. There had to be another way. Through the neural link, she accessed Thunderbolt's complete technical schematics, searching for an alternative. The solution came not from the Titan's weapon systems, but from its power core. A controlled energy pulse that could disrupt the Queen's psychic network without destroying everything in its path. But to deliver it, Thunderbolt would need to breach the mothership's hull and reach its central chamber. "Admiral," Maya transmitted, "I need your fleet to create a breach in the mothership's ventral hull. Coordinates uploading now." "That's a suicide run, Captain," Zhao replied, understanding her intention immediately. "Not if your timing is perfect," Maya countered. On my mark, hit these coordinates with everything you have, then pull back immediately. The Earth fleet moved into position, concentrating fire on the designated section of the mothership's hull. Bio-armor, designed to regenerate quickly from conventional weapons, couldn't heal fast enough under the concentrated bombardment. "Now, Admiral," Maya ordered. As the fleet unleashed its final barrage, creating a temporary breach in the massive vessel, Thunderbolt accelerated toward the opening. The Titan's thrusters burned white-hot, pushing it through space at speeds that strained its structural integrity. Maya felt every vibration, every stress fracture forming in Thunderbolt's frame. The neural link transmitted pain as systems overloaded, but she pushed through it, focused entirely on reaching the target. The Titan crashed through the breach moments before it began to close, tearing through internal structures as it penetrated deeper into the mothership. Krivenar warriors swarmed the intruder, their claws and bioweapons scratching at its armor, but Thunderbolt pressed on. Through the chaos of battle damage and failing systems, Maya followed the psychic emanations to their source. The Queen's chamber lay at the heart of the mothership, a vast, organic space where the massive intelligence directed her children. As Thunderbolt burst into the chamber, Maya finally saw her enemy, not an insectoid creature as she had expected, but something more abstract. The Queen existed as a network of bioluminescent tissues spread throughout the chamber, pulsing with alien thought patterns. The psychic attack intensified, hammering against Maya's consciousness with enough force to cause physical pain. Blood trickled from her nose as she fought to maintain control of Thunderbolt's systems. "You cannot destroy me," came the Queen's thought. "I am the swarm." "Then the swarm ends today," Maya replied. She activated Thunderbolt's power core, reconfiguring it to generate the disruptive pulse. Systems that were never designed to work together were forced into alignment, creating feedback loops that threatened to tear the Titan apart from within. As the pulse built toward critical levels, Maya felt Thunderbolt's consciousness merge more completely with her own. The machine's memories became indistinguishable from her human experiences, the joy of its first activation, the pride of its creators, the bond it had formed with each pilot throughout its history, and now, at what might be its end, a sense of fulfillment. "It's been an honor," Maya whispered, unsure whether she was speaking to the Titan or it was speaking to her. The pulse detonated, a wave of energy, neither heat nor radiation, but something that existed primarily in the psychic dimension the Krivenar relied upon, exploded outward from Thunderbolt's core. It washed over the Queen's neural network, disrupting the complex patterns that made up her consciousness. The chamber filled with alien screams, not physical sounds but psychic emanations of agony as the Queen's mind unraveled. Throughout the mothership, throughout the entire fleet, Krivenar warriors collapsed as their connection to the hive mind was severed. Maya felt Thunderbolt's systems failing, one by one. The neural link flickered, threatening to disconnect entirely. Through the Titan's external sensors, she could see the mothership beginning to break apart as its biological systems lost cohesion. "Thunderbolt to Earth Fleet," she managed to transmit. "Target neutralized. The Queen is dead. Can you get out?" came Admiral Zhou's voice. Maya checked Thunderbolt's status. The Titan had sustained catastrophic damage, its propulsion systems destroyed, its armor breached in multiple locations. There was no escape. "Negative, Admiral," she replied. "But the mission is complete." As the mothership began its death throes, Maya sank deeper into the neural link, seeking the comfort of Thunderbolt's memories. Together, they had accomplished what neither could have done alone. Together, they had reminded the galaxy why humanity was not to be underestimated. The last thing Maya saw before darkness claimed her was a bright light cutting through the mothership's disintegrating structure, a rescue shuttle from the Odyssey, attempting the impossible. 3 months later, on an observation deck overlooking Earth's orbital shipyards, Maya Reeves watched as technicians worked on the partially reconstructed frame of Thunderbolt. After the battle, Admiral Zhou's forces had recovered what remained of the Titan, along with its pilot. Barely alive, her mind still connected to the machine even as both of them failed. The neural link had been severed during her medical treatment, a process that had left gaps in Maya's memory. Sometimes she still dreamed in targeting solutions and tactical assessments, remnants of her connection to the war machine. The Security Council has officially rescinded the ban on Titan research, said Admiral Zhao, joining her at the viewport. Your actions at New Haven changed their perspective on necessary defense technologies. Maya nodded. And the Kriven are silent. Without their queen, their colonies have withdrawn to their home systems. The Galactic Council is negotiating new boundaries. Maya turned to look at the Admiral. And what about him? She asked, nodding toward Thunderbolt. Zhao followed her gaze. The technicians say its AI core is intact, but dormant. It hasn't responded to any pilot candidates. It's waiting, Maya said with certainty. For what? She didn't answer immediately, her hand unconsciously moving to the neural port at the base of her skull. Inactive now, but still there. For the next time we need it, she finally replied. For the next pilot worthy of carrying its legacy. As if in response, a faint glow appeared in Thunderbolt's chest core, barely noticeable, but unmistakable to those who knew what to look for, a sign that somewhere in its complex systems, the Titan was still aware, still watching, still ready to defend humanity when called upon. The message sent throughout the galaxy was clear. Earth's forgotten weapons remembered their purpose. And next time, the enemy would know what awaited them. Humanity had found its thunder again.